Welcome. Welcome, Christ Community Covenant Church. Welcome, 4Cs. So glad you're here. Glad you could join us for this, what we call public service announcement. I'm Dave Shear. You're still you, and we're glad you're a part of the 4Cs world. If you're just visiting and you're wondering how you clicked on our website and you're just kind of hoping to catch something really amazing, you got this. So hopefully that's good. So I thought a couple things are on my mind here today. One, we'll get to this whole reopening thing on Sunday, though. Spoiler alert: if you're thinking about joining the sermon this week, we'll talk about this some more, but you won't be able to join until 10:30. The sermon is going to be live from the sanctuary. And so at 10:30 sharp, or just a little bit before that, you can click in and watch the entire sermon and worship service live. Otherwise, you can catch into it if you get there a little late. It's like coming to church late. You'll miss pieces. Afterwards, it'll be archived, and you'll be able to pull into it and take a look at it anytime. But we're looking forward to that. So yeah, and late breaking news. Not only will you be able to join in and watch the service live and participate in that way, but we will have a YouTube link so that you can actually YouTube chat with us live. And you'll be able to type in questions and observations, and somebody will be chatting with you. And if you wanted to check out the worship service this week, 10:30, this is a test run. So we're not actually opening it up to the entire church. In fact, there's only a very few people that are coming: worship team, council members, and staff. We're trying to work the bugs out of what this means to reopen. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. And I wanted to give you another heads up. We're going to be talking about Moses and his story in Exodus. We'll be in chapter 3 and 4. And halfway through 3, in the beginning of 4, Moses starts making excuses about why he doesn't really want to be the guy. And so I invite you to get there first, and maybe with the kids or somebody else in the family, you can go through and try and decide just exactly how many excuses did Moses float trying to get out of the job of being the deliverer of the nation of Israel. So that's going on this Sunday. We're going to talk some more. I wanted to chat with you about opening up. We mentioned in the last PSA that the council and staff will be meeting on Monday. Now, that was this last Monday, and we met and had a great time of prayer and conversation. And we have put into place a process of opening back up. We have 4 really important values that we're working with. The first value that we talked about and prayed over, you especially as our church, this whole idea of unity and that we would come together with a church of one mind and one hope, and that is to exalt and celebrate Jesus Christ and his purposes in our world. And so coming back together as a community is really, really important, and doing it with a mind and a heart and a celebration where we consider one another more important than ourselves. So we want to continue that habit of joining together, really loving community, and that's a high value, the unity of the church. Another high value is that we open up as soon as we can, and that's why we're putting these things in place to open up, because we believe that church is life-giving, and that by gathering together, praying together, worshiping together, not only will we feel the life, but we'll be in a better position to give life as well. So 2 things: unity, the whole idea of opening as soon as we can. We also want to open as safe as we can. So those 2 values are married: as soon as we can, as safe as we can. So we heard from you in the survey that many of you really want to come back, but you are still concerned about COVID and all those things. And so we've got some rules or some guidelines that we're working with. We've sent those out in email, and we'll talk about them a little bit more as we get through this PSA. All those things are important to us. And finally, our high value is that we over-communicate. So in fact, you're going to be hearing a lot of the stuff that's in an email in this PSA. And then you'll probably get another email, then you'll probably get a letter, and then we've got smoke screens on Saturday. So we got lots of ways we're trying to connect with you on this, that you will know how committed we are to opening up and opening up safely. So those are the things that we're trying to do. Here's an important point. I can't do this for you. You are your own best healthcare provider. You know you. I don't know you. I don't know you like that. I don't know if you got a temperature. I don't know if you got a cough. I don't know if you're in a high-risk population. People older, over 65, people with diabetes, people with other health care concerns. You know, if you shouldn't be gathering together yet, then you shouldn't be gathering together yet. You need to use a great deal of wisdom. Ask Jesus to inform you, but there's no rush to get back together. There's no guilt trip in this. We want you to be together with us, but we want you to be wise as serpent, gentle as a dove. And so that's really, really important to me. We'll talk some more about that as well. If you feel sick at all, if you got a fever, if you're just not sure, for any infectious disease, COVID or otherwise, the best caring policy is just stay home and get well and make sure. So let's break down this schedule. This Sunday is our test run. We're going to be meeting in the sanctuary with a small group of people. We'll actually be live streaming not only in the sanctuary, not only to you on our homepage, but we'll also be live streaming to the fellowship hall just down the hallway. And we'll actually have 2 rooms open because each room, social distancing, can only accommodate about 70 people. And that's with the worship team and all the tech help and ushers and everybody. So the rooms can only accommodate so many people. So our test run will have about 15 or 25 people in each room, and we will be broadcasting that signal live from the sanctuary to the fellowship hall. There'll be a team in there that's helping to make that worship experience a live worship experience, and the sermon will then come in and bounce in front of you. So that's this Sunday. You can be praying for us because all of that technology of getting the service going live is a deal, and getting people in and out of the church in a safe manner, making sure that everything is fully disinfected. There's a lot that goes in to creating a healthy and meaningful person-centered worship service. And so we're trying to do all of that. So that's this Sunday. We'll be live, and that's going to be at what time? What time's that going to be? 10:30. That's right, 10:30. You won't be able to get it earlier than that. Live streamed at 10:30. After that, at any time from the archive. Now on the 5th of July, that's kind of a celebrative, kind of fun time for picnics and the like, because 4th of July, you do that kind of thing. So we're going to have a drive-in service. You'll drive your car in. We'll park on the north side of the fellowship. We'll have our worship team out there. It'll be live and outside. And you'll be invited. You can sit in your car if you like, or you can it might be warm. You might want to bring some chairs, some lawn chairs, and you can just sit outside and sing with us and have a little extra distance. And you'll just kind of drive in, enjoy that. It'll be Communion Sunday, and we will take care of you with that as well. We have communion elements that are personalized for each family member of our church. And so if you're visiting with us and you want to come visit, come on the 5th of July, drive in and see what we're made of. We'll enjoy communion together. So that's coming up on July 5th. On July 12th, the following week, that's our grand reopening. And our hope is to potentially have 3 rooms open at that time so that we can invite even more people to come and be a part of the worship service. So all of those things, if things to work out, each room needs to be a separate service, a separate entrance, separate bathrooms. You'll come and go through that single door. And so we're trying to make this a real responsible kind of event where people feel indeed safe, and it still feels like church, because we want that to happen as well. So here's gonna what's gonna help us be effective in some of our safekeeping. We're going to ask that all of our parishioners, those coming on Sunday morning, to wear a mask on July 12th, and we're calling it seat to seat. And the reason is we don't want people moving in and out, and it's hard to keep that social distancing as good as possible when you're moving around. Once you get your seat, you're all set up. We're gonna make it available to you that you can take your mask off, and then you'll be sitting there, and things should be safe, kind of like how they do it in restaurants today. So some of you will be assigned to the sanctuary, some to the fellowship hall, and the next room that we'll be opening up is the big room adjacent to the youth building or the youth space. So all of those will have a service going at the same time. Should be a lot of fun. Should be crazy. Should be a learning curve for all of us. So wearing masks is important. We're going to ask that you not be running around hugging people and handshaking people. A bright smile and a sparkling conversation and a prayer, that's going to work really good. I'm going to ask that you take your temperature before you leave for church. And just double check and make sure, because sometimes you don't have symptoms, but you may have a fever. So that's what a lot of businesses are doing. Take your temperature, make sure you feel good, and then come on into the church service. I'm gonna make one more special appeal to people who are older in an at-risk population. It might be best that you check out the online service a little extra long. Our Covenant Village friends, our Covenant Living friends, our Springwood friends in those environments, it might be great that you just pause and do that online. So just saying, I'm really concerned for our at-risk population, and I don't want you get everybody together in a big group, and you're singing. That's going to make a great opportunity for someone to catch a disease, and we don't want to be that place. So, all right, you're going to wear a mask. We're going to be sending out RSVPs, and that's because we want to be able to kind of be fair and get people in the rooms that's really going to be most comfortable for them. The fellowship area is going to have kind of a family mode to it, and so we'll have tables and some fun things for the kids to do, and kind of a little bit of a different feel to it. So some of our younger families, we're going to kind of escort down to the fellowship hall, and some of our maybe older people might be in the sanctuary so that they can kind of get in and out comfortably from the south doors. So we're still working all that out, but it'll be pretty clear as you come in on Sunday morning, and we'll be connecting with you before July 12th, so it makes even more sense. All right, big learning curve for everybody. That's a lot of information. Thanks for trying to keep up. I keep saying that life is relentless, and it turns out it is. Monday morning, Susan fell, and you might have heard, broke her ribs, hit her head. She got a terrific black eye, and she's still dealing with some concussion symptoms. And it turns out this was not on our schedule at all. The broken ribs, the concussion, everything that goes with that. And life is kind of like that. It is a relentless thing. And so our ability to gather and to pray for one another and to keep each other mindfully in our hearts is a huge deal for us. So I know that your life has been relentless too. We've been very, very prayerful for our congregation. We long to see you, and we long to see you in a way that brings health to you and your body and your spirit as we worship Christ together. So the Lord be with you, and then you can say, and also with you, and we'll see you very, very soon. We'll see you Sunday at 10:30 over the web, and we'll see you on the 5th out in the parking lot, and then on the 12th here in the sanctuary. So, peace.